Yo, what is good, YouTube, and welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at these brand new attacking players, or perfect build attacking players, going through each one, talking about which ones are worth picking up and which ones you should probably stay away from in my team. Interesting drop today. The Sapphires are Darvin Ham and Nate Robinson, who are interesting cards. We knew the other 4 cards from yesterday. Interested to see how today's drop is looking, because Blake could be awesome. Zach LaVine could be one of the better offensive guards in the game. Derrick Jones Jr. could be an absolute budget beast. I don't have high hopes for David Thompson because I doubt he's much of a shooter. But Darvin Ham, Nate Robb could be fun budget cards as well, for sure. So overall, an interesting drop. Before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 14,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day, and I would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Also, I already recorded this whole video, which is a real shame. I already know what all of these cards look like, but for some reason, my audio glitched, so it did not capture literally any of it, which is really, really annoying. But it is what it is. We're still out here grinding, so I'm just going to re-record this video, and we're going to get right into it, starting off with Nate Robb, who is going to be a 5'9" point guard with a 6-foot wingspan. He is very, very small, but 94 speed and excel, 85 shot 3, 95 driving dunk, 88 lateral quickness. While he won't defend really at all, I mean, if you have any expectations of him being anything other than a turnstile on defense, I do not know what to tell you, because he's so small and because his defensive stats and badges are not good besides that lateral quickness. But he does have gold blow by, silver speed booster. Unfortunately, no handles for days or limitless range, but a high enough 3-ball to green consistently, a couple of decent shooting badges, and a bunch of gold finishing badges as well. Release hopefully is good. We'll see what Nate Robinson's release looks like. Hopefully it's fast and easy to get off, because that'll make him really fun to use. Kemba Escape, I've heard, is really, really good this year. MJ dribble style is still very good. Not as good as last year, but still very good. And then Nate Robinson leader, I literally have no idea. I have no idea what his leader is going to look like. So we will have to see what that animation is looking like. But if he's got some pretty good animations, this is going to be a really, really fun 3-hunting athletic type PG. Wish he had handles for days. That's probably the #1 badge I wish you could add to him, because it'll make him a lot more viable as like a dribbler and a fun shot creator. But I'm definitely going to try out this Nate Robinson card today, and we're going to see how he is. Looks like a fun option at point guard. Not an elite card, but definitely a very fun one. Darvin Ham, 6'7" with a 6'10" wingspan. He's got 86 speed and excel, which is really good for a small forward. Defensively isn't bad either. 78 interior, 82 perimeter, 84 lateral quickness, 78 steal is pretty solid. 72 shot 3 is high enough to green with consistency. 95 driving dunk is obviously incredible, and he's got mostly finishing badges. Has bronze blow by, gold pogo stick and workhorse, silver chase down, and bronze clamps. Couple of decent badges here and there. Campaign base, I have no idea how that base looks. I doubt it's very good, though, I'll be honest. And if his release isn't very good, then that probably takes away from the value of this card, because you won't really be able to shoot at a super high level with him. But if it's a pretty good release, and I'm wrong, then he's actually a really nice all-around card, because everything else about the card is pretty good. He's a decent defender, he's super athletic, and he's got pretty good size. Could be a pretty fun option at the small forward position. Again, super athletic. So, Derrick Jones, 82 speed and excel, 6'6", the 7-foot wingspan at small forward. He's a little undersized, but he's got really long arms, which does help. He's a versatile defender, but not quite as good defensively as I was hoping he'd be. 75 interior, 79 perimeter, 79 lateral quickness, 75 steal, and 80 block. He's a little bit disappointing. Does have gold chase starters and pogo stick, but nothing else defensively. Silver bail and break starter, as well as needle threader, silver catch and shoot, gold fast twitch, posterizer, precision dunker, silver acrobat, and rise up. 95 driving dunk, 85 standing dunk. Release should be nice. The last couple of years, Derrick Jones' release has been really, really good, and it's on quick this year, so I assume its release is probably pretty good. And overall, I mean, Trey Escape as well, LaVine dribble style, he's going to move pretty good for a wing. I think this card is really nice. I just wish, honestly, that he was a little bit better defender. If he had a couple of more good defensive badges and slightly better defensive stats, like 80, 80, 80, 80 across the board on those defensive areas, he'd be a really nice defensive card and one of the best value small forwards in my team, if not maybe even the best. David Thompson, I don't have high hopes for this card. 87 speed and excel, but a 52 shot 3 on a 6'4" shooting guard who's not point guard eligible. Do not love that. Hotspots from most everywhere, but 2 cold zones is kind of weird from the top of the key and the right hash. Does have gold pogo stick and workhorse. Defensively, 80 perimeter, 85 lateral quickness. I mean, I guess he's not the worst defender in the world, but he's not going to be a good defender. Doesn't have the key badges. Going to be a very, very poor shooter. Almost impossible to hit open threes, to be completely honest, in all likelihood. Finishing badges are great, but you can't do much with that if you can't shoot the ball that well. I mean, I guess D-Book base is good, but Kendrick Nunn-Upper I don't think is very good. So we'll see how his release is looking like. It does have step escape, but honestly, I just can't see a card like David Thompson with this low of a 3-ball at the shooting guard position being a legitimately viable option. Probably one of the most disappointing, if not probably the most disappointing card from today's drop. Now, Zach LaVine, offensive beast at the shooting guard position. 6'5" with 6'8" wingspan. Why does he have cold spots from nearly everywhere inside the line? I do not know. But 2 hops are Precision Dunker and Posterizer. He's got Gold Arrow Wizard, Fast Twitch, and Acrobat. Gold Agent 3 and Blinders, Silver Catch and Shooting Corner Specialist, Bronze Claymore, Deadeye Guard Up, Limitless Range, Slippery Off Ball, Gold Blow By, Silver Handles for Days. Does not have Speed Booster, unfortunately. He does have Silver Unpluckable, Bronze Bailouts, does not have Break Starter, but defensively he's not going to be good. We got to know that. He's got low lateral quickness. Defensive stats across the board are bad. Only defensive badge is Pogo Stick, but he's super fast with an 86 shot 3 and a 95 driving dunk. This card is really intriguing to me because he's fast, he can shoot, and he can dunk. If his animations are good offensively, he's a really, really fun offensive card. I know his dunk animations are always amazing. Zach always floats when he's attacking the rim. His base and his upper, we'll see how they are this year. Last year I didn't love LaVine's release, but I didn't hate it either, so we'll have to see this year what that's like. LaVine's fade, I also don't know, and all of his animations, his dribble sigs, are all his own as well. So pretty much across the board, gonna be looking at some new animations, some new sigs with the Zach LaVine card, animations that I haven't really used this year. So we'll have to see what those animations are looking like. If they're great, he's one of the best offensive cards in the game and could be very similar to a guy like Devin Booker. If they're not good, well, he's not a top 5 shooting guard in the game and definitely not going to be worth the price because he doesn't play much defense. He's got to be an elite offensive card to earn a spot in people's squads. Blake Griffin, he's only got 2 Hoffs. I mean, he's got Arrow Wizard and Posterizer, though. Those are really good Hoffs. 91 overall, 6'9" and 6'11" wingspan. They make Blake a little shorter this year. I think he was listed at 6'10" last year. That's a little disappointing, but 85 speed and excel is higher than I expected Blake to be, like a lot higher actually. I guess this is a Los Angeles, like a prime Blake, but that's a fast Blake. 90 vertical, 94 strength. Those will help him out. The speed, the strength, and the vertical will help him out a lot defensively. I understand his defensive badges are not special. No anchor, no rebound chaser. Doesn't have a lot of the key badges. His interior is an 80, but he has a low block rating, very mediocre steal. 74 lateral is good enough for a big. I'm not too worried about that. Does have Silver Break Starter and Clamp Laker. I would play this card at the 4 because he's got really good speed, super good strength, and vertical. While his interior is not going to be great, he will not face nearly as many mismatches, especially on the interior at the 4. And I think perimeter-wise will be versatile enough to stand in front of a guy like Jason Tatum or Grant Hill at the 4 because he is so big and strong and fast. Now, he's an incredible dunker. He's a very capable shooter with a 75 3-ball. That's more than high enough to green with consistency if I like his release. I think this card is basically Zion Williamson, but significantly better is what you're looking at with Blake Griffin. And I liked Zion, but Zion's release was bad. He wasn't a very good shooter. Blake is plus 10 speed of ball. Way better rebounder, 3 inches taller, has a 1 inch longer wingspan as well. They're the same speed, and Zion is a better vertical, but Blake has better strength, stamina. He's even technically a better finisher. He's a better shooter. He's got a better release, and he's probably as good or better defensively as well as Zion, especially with the additional size. He is just a better overall card than Zion, really across the board. They have the same Hall of Fame badges and similar overall finishing badges, but Blake is, I would say, a little bit more versatile in the playmaking areas and should be a much better shooter than Zion as well. Overall, I think Blake is looking like a guy who's going to be a top 3 or so power forward eligible card in the game, which is actually really, really nice, and I think will make him an absolutely phenomenal option in my team. I mean, considering I'm running guys like Chris Bosh. I was running Chris Bosh on my 4 right now, but I mean, Bosh and AD for a lot of people are playing on the 5, which leaves the 4 kind of a weak spot for a lot of teams. Blake Griffin is one of the best 4s in the game. He's right there with, or maybe even better than a guy like Sean Kemp as well. Could be an absolutely incredible option at the power forward position. So that's the card I'm honestly most excited to gameplay with today. But I'm excited about both these Amethysts. Derrick Jones looks good. Darvin Ham looks like a decent budget small forward. And then Nate Robinson looks super fun to use as well if he's got some pretty good animations. So excited to try out the cards from today's drop, and I hope y'all are too. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.